You know what's great? Video games. You know why that's great? Because there's so much that you can do with them, or learn from them, or experience with them. There's such a wide range of things that you can learn or exhibit from video games, it's insane. I remember being a kid and playing Mega Man X4 and loving the platforming and the game itself and the scene when Iris died, oh my god. You already know, let's not get into that. Anyway, back to what I was saying. There's so much that you can do with video games, it's astounding. Animal Crossing, for example, a game where you can just chill and take care of your town. Roller Coaster Tycoon, you can build a theme park and do whatever the hell you want with it. Saints Row 4, you can do anything. And that's really what's the best part about gaming. The amount of variety you can have with your games, and the various amounts of ways to play. That should go without saying. But this shit right here? How fucking egotistical is that? Oh goodness, I hope I'm not triggering anybody right now, because the last thing that I would ever want to do in the world is hurt someone's fucking feelings! Well, I genuinely actually hope I'm not, because I hope by the end of this video that one person who needs to understand how egotistical this idea is understands what my point is. But first, a brief history of video games. And don't crucify me just yet. Ableism itself is a huge problem, and it is something that should be addressed. But we will talk about that later.
In the beginning there was darkness, and then a switch was flipped, and Pong was born into the world.
This is a very abridged version of the story of the creation of video games, so just sit down and listen.
Look and revel in all its beautiful glory.
See, this right here is a competitive game. It's table tennis, or Pong as we know it. In its very nature is competition to beat the opponent, and it's entirely based upon how fast you are at turning the knob to move a rod to hit the ball back and forth. That's how you fucking play Pong.
From the beginning,
Video games have been about competition and the reflexes of such. I mean, look at Pong. You literally have to react every time something happens. There is not really a moment to sit there and think about it. But alas, this is not a valid argument to justify games being about competition. So why did I mention it? Well, imagine, if you will, that games for a moment are only about reflexes. We would have never gotten games like, say, Fire Emblem, or Phoenix Wright, or pretty much any puzzle game ever. Ableism. The discrimination of someone in favor of able-bodied people. Yeah, seems legit. Nothing wrong with that. Well, I mean, the discrimination of someone because of a condition like that is wrong, but nothing wrong with the definition. It makes sense. Can a video game be ableist? Of course not. It's an inanimate object. But wait a second. This cartoon of Bugs Bunny from the 40s is incredibly racist. Well, this picture is incredibly sexist. And this person has a gender bias. One of those three things is actually a viable statement. Can you guess which one? If you guess the jab at Donald Trump, then you're correct. You see, my friends, what it comes down to is intent. Of course, the first two examples are viable answers too, but you cannot prove that without knowing the intent of the creator. You see, the example with the gentleman with the stupid hair is easy to prove because we know Donald Trump as a character is very much biased against women, from his actions, of course, in his words, in his demeanor. Anyway, just looking at this picture or this cartoon, you would have to infer that the idea is racist or sexist, but maybe the cartoonist was trying to describe something else. Or a parody. We have no definitive proof other than what's being shown. Of course, we know this is racist because of the context, and this is sexist because of whatever, but we only know that because of the fact that we now know why they were made. So, back to video games. Why the fuck did Hideki Kamiya make Devil May Cry so fucking reflex heavy? 'Cause it's fun, duh. But seriously, because those are the games that he grew up playing. Space Harrier, Gradius, fucking Nuts and Milk. These are all Kamiya's ilk. These are the games that he likes. So of course he's gonna make his games in a similar fashion. These games are meant to be played and enjoyed, and if you're not good enough to get past level 2 because, wow, my reflexes are too slow, well then I'm sorry, but this game is not for you. No one is discriminating against you. If the game was made with the intent that, nyah-ha-ha, someone missing an arm isn't going to be able to play this game, I assure you it was not. Why? Because game designers want everyone to play their games. Do you think Shiggy, I Can Diggy this shitty Miyamoto sits there at his Nintendo castle and is like, fucking, I can only play Pikmin? No, he wants you to get out there and give his games a shot. For money or for your pleasure, it's whatever. He wants you to play it. But I'm sorry. I'm getting a little off kilter here, or something like that. This post here is saying that gaming is treating reflexes as the only skill. So I mean, they've never played a Fire Emblem game, or an Animal Crossing game, or a Shin Megami Tensei game, or a Pokemon game, or a trading card game, or an RPG, or Minecraft on Peaceful, any point-and-click games. Like, fuck, are you serious? There are so many games out there that don't rely on fucking reflexes that to make a post like that is just ignorance. Maybe what they mean is that idea that people are only praising reflex-based games like Rocket League or League of Legends because they're now considered esports. And to your little friend there who wants games that are based on emotional skill, I mean, other than the examples I just gave, what the fuck does that even mean? Do you mean like dating sims? I mean, there's gotta be some kind of emotion there, I'll tell you what right now. Or do you mean like Undertale? Oh, wait, nope. Hold on a second. You gotta move the heart around. What if your reflexes aren't good enough to do? Oh god, no! But again, there's more to this than meets the eye. Like I previously stated, there are many games out there that require more than just reflexes to get through, or maybe even no reflexes at all. The verbiage here is the weak point of the argument because it sounds to me like the generalization of or lack of knowledge to the definition of reflex is the pillar of their argument. Let me lay out to you what a reflex is, as defined by Google. Reflex. Noun. An action that is performed as a response to stimulus and without conscious thought. Let me repeat that back to you. As a response to a stimulus and without conscious thought. Though many parents in the 90s would argue that kids are most certainly not conscious while playing video games, I think we can all agree that you have to be aware while you're playing most of them. Now, take Overwatch, for example. I'm sure that the original poster would try and argue that reflexes are all the game needs to be played, but if you don't take into account enemy players trying to use a certain character or flanking route, then you're going to get yourself blown up, and you have to be aware enough to make that choice. Is it a response to the environment or stimuli? Yes. But is it an unconscious decision? No. This post is bullshit. These people suck at video games, that's all there is to it. Because when a little girl can grow up without hands and eat food with her feet, I bet you she could play Mario Brothers just fine if she wanted to. Because there's a man out there who is blind, and yet who beat Ocarina of Time. Because there's someone who is hefty as shit, yet would still kick my ass at DDR. If in life you want to do something, you can. But what if you're paralyzed from the neck down, Grenademanblitz? Well then, you can go play Diablo 3 like no hands can. Don't let anybody ever tell you some stupid shit like that, because you can do whatever you set your mind to. Hey, thanks for taking the time to sit through this video with me. It means a lot. If you liked what you saw here, let me know in the comments below, leaving a like, or hell, if you're new here, you should totally subscribe. If you're hungry for more stuff that I've done, then click on that top video for another thing that I did. Or, if you want to discover another channel that's pretty good, then you should totally check out the bottom video for the recommended channel of the week. This week, it's my buddy Cubular, who just hit 250 subscribers. He's a talented guy, and you should totally check him out. That being said, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for, I don't know, I just yell at people usually. I'll see you in the next video. And always remember, video games are the best video games. Later!